Hey y'all, we're checking out the G5 T2 Broadhead today. This is a 2-blade, 2-inch cut offered by G5 that was either designed by or in part by John Dudley. This is a non-barbed broadhead. The blades do flip backwards, and you can find a pack of these for $59.99 for a 3-pack.
Not a good disguise.
All right, so if we swing around to our graph here, it shows pressure, pressure, pressure. There's a little spike there, pressure, pressure. This is where the blades popped and open, which I have found over here on this graph to be, looks like 37.1 foot-pounds of energy is what it took to pop those blades. Like, then it pops, it drops, you get a little bit more, and then it starts to try to penetrate through the leather. And it peaks at 76.28 foot-pounds of energy to pop through the leather. Wait a minute, 2¼ inches on leather. Well, I'm glad I reshot that. I shot it in a fresh area, no other wound channels or anything. I made sure it's not intersecting. Look at this wound channel. Okay, so you've got your slap cut down here on this end, and you can see there's the bottom, there's the top, and that's huge. And then it drops down to the regular cut, and you've got that big, nasty wound channel all the way down here. Definitely looked like it started to deploy. Well, the blades are toast, and the tip is curled, but the ferrule's fine, so you should be able to replace the blades and keep shooting. So that 350 score on the outer package sharpness honestly shocked me. In my experience, G5 makes very sharp broadheads, with the exception of the Montec, so I expected a much higher number out of this broadhead. The pressure testing is new. Basically, all we're looking for is how much energy it takes to pop the broadhead open and then push through that leather. And I saw out of this what I typically see out of 2-blade mechanicals. They're all in that 40 foot-pound range to pop and that 90 foot-pound range to push through the leather, or pound-foot. It's pound-foot, not foot-pound. They are different. But they're in that 90 range to push through the leather. And, you know, there's not really an applicability on that test as far as that versus penetration on a deer, because the leather I use is much tougher. That test is really so you can compare this broadhead to a different one that I've done the same test on. And then also in future videos, comparing multiple broadheads against each other, you'll be able to see those numbers side by side. The ballistics gel test, this broadhead showed up very well. And a couple notable things were that nice big cut on the leather. And the wound channel was great in the gel, but what really stuck out to me is that the arrow went deeper in that gel than what I normally see out of 2-inch 2-blades. Now, that ballistics gel is by no means a penetration test. It's not at all. But that is just something that was different than the norm that stuck out. After that, we did the durability, and that 22 gauge weld steel, that stuff's rough. I mean, that is some tough stuff. It's definitely tougher than any animal we're going to be shooting if you're a whitetail hunter. But I think it really simulates what happens if you pass through and stick it into some rocky soil or trees or anything, and this thing is wrecked. Now, the nice thing is the only thing I saw on the ferrule that was messed up was the tip, and you could take a file, sharpen that to a point, probably replace these blades, and go back to town, which is good. And then the blade retention is god-awful. 1,075, I think it was. Honestly, I don't remember at this point, or 25, but yeah. And I mean, again, that's that steel. That stuff is just mean. So overall, for me, this broadhead, it's like, I wouldn't hesitate to shoot it. I would definitely probably strap up those blades some, maybe put them on a ceramic to hone them up. But the Broadhead itself overall is not bad. I also think that for the money, there are better options that you can buy if you don't want to have to do anything to your Broadhead. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.